Hey there, guys. Alright, today we are back with some miscellaneous myths. This time onto Sekhmet, the Eye of Ra. Probably butchered the proper pronunciations there. But I just realized, I don't believe we've ever done any Egyptian myths so far. So, I'm looking forward to this one. Before we dive into the video, though, make sure you go check out the links below in my description box or in the pinned comment in the comment section. I'd love it if you join the Discord. Now that that's out of the way, got nothing to add here at the beginning. Let's just dive right in.
There are basically 5 pieces of recognizable recurring imagery from ancient Egypt. The pyramids, the Sphinx, the Pharaoh's death mask, the Ankh, and the Eye of Ra. Only one of those feels like it really needs further explanation. The pyramids and the Sphinx are huge and rad, the death mask is glamorous and we found like a million of them, and the Ankh is a symbol of life and death that shows up near basically every god and pharaoh ever. But why is the Eye of Ra such a big deal? The sun disk of Ra shows up pretty frequently, and that makes sense because he's a sun god, but why his eye specifically? Well,
Maybe the Egyptians like looking at eyeballs, man. Maybe that's their kink. Let's not judge them. 2022. Then again, her video here was made a few years ago. But I don't know what year this was made. I'm gonna guess it was 2016. Still an acceptable time.
turns out there's actually a myth about this. Crazy, right?
Oh.
See, back in the old days,
Oh, nice. They do have an explanation.
the Egyptian gods were kinda, sort of mortal. Like they were gods, but they had mortal forms, meaning they could age and theoretically die. And in these days, the sun god Ra was the big man in charge. But over the centuries, Ra started getting old. More specifically, he started going senile. He was still head god, but the mortal population stopped respecting him so much, mostly because he was acting, senile. Osiris tries to help him, but Ra
Dad, put the sun down. No, it's mine.
is the king god, and he kinda refuses to listen to anybody, and meanwhile, also forgets to tend
Dad, you're messing it all up. I'm king. Wait, what? King? I think he's saying king. King!
and the world he's supposed to be ruling. Humanity suffers and stops worshipping Ra as a result. Ra doesn't notice it first,
When did all these kids forget respect?
but eventually he catches wind of the fact that he's lost the respect of humanity, mostly because as a result of the loss of his temples and his worship, he has lost most of his godly power. So he gets really pissy, but
Worship me! Or what?
because he's, powerless, he can't really do anything about it. So he goes to his dad, this primordial being named Nun that's basically the vastness of space, which, fun fact, the Egyptians thought of as a giant ocean. So he asks his father
How do I take revenge without my smiting powders? You're not gonna like it.
for advice on how to take revenge. Nun tells him to sit on his throne and take out his eye, so he does, and the eye
Fucking Odin? Yep, I didn't like it.
immediately transforms into a terrifying lion goddess bent on ravaging humanity for the crime of disrespecting her dad. So Ra names her Sekhmet
Sekhmet, you'll avenge me.
and sends her on her way to do the vengeance thing. So Sekhmet starts ripping humanity a collective new one, which kind of freaks out the other gods. So Osiris and friends
Dad, we really need to talk about the new girl.
go to Ra and ask him to make her stop. Ra feels kind of bad, so he asks Sekhmet to
Sekhmet? I think that's enough murder.
dial back the murder a little, and Sekhmet's like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know my illustrious father was such a giant baby.
and continues murdering everybody. So Ra decides
Alright, everyone. We are fixing this.
he has to put a stop to this, and assembles the surviving humans along with the other gods, and together they assemble a plan. So they make this potion that's basically 90% booze, 10% human blood, and
90%. 90%.
leave it out for Sekhmet, who drinks all of it and then passes out. While
Hold on. She drinks all of that and only passes. That's a fucking god, alright.
she's asleep, Ra pulls out some of her godly essence and weaves it into a new goddess, either Bast or Hathor. Sources kind of vary on this one. So when Sekhmet wakes up, she's kind of different on account of
Well, that's an interesting hangover.
missing a chunk of her essence, and she's still a terrifying war goddess, but she's kind of been mellowed
So, you wanna kill the rest of humanity? Not right now.
into only fighting and killing for the sake of protecting stuff, rather than just raw funsies. Everyone has a laugh,
Alright, well, this has been a fiasco and a half.
and Ra decides it's probably time to retire from the mortal lifestyle, abandoning his quasi-mortality and retiring to his sunboat forever, subsequently paving the way for
You kids play nice. Osiris is in charge.
Osiris to take the throne, which, as we all know, worked out great. She'll only come out at night.
I prefer the version where Sekhmet's separated essence becomes vast.
Nothing is new.
It feels more thematically appropriate if the end result is 2 cat lady gods.
Watching and waiting.
Ra himself has his own continuing adventure after dropping his
but her
mortal
eyes are on the door.
Probably mortal. His journey through the sky and underworld is a surprisingly thrilling tale and very rigidly structured.
Watch out, boys, she'll
Rigid.
chew you up.
For example, exactly 7 hours in is when they fight the giant snake with another giant snake.
She's a man
Two
eater.
snakes. Nice. It is totally possible that there is additional symbolism surrounding the Eye of Ra that I am just unfamiliar with, but as far as I know, this is the big one.
Watch out, boys, she'll
The
chew
big
you
one.
up.
This has been
Here she
an overly sarcastic production. Miscellaneous Myths, Sekhmet, and the Eye of Ra. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. This was a fun, short one. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.